Up next, we're actually going to have something a little bit on the educational side. Mr. Yogi Tap and Chris Lowe are going to be coming out to explain the different components of what a Cheng is and what a traditional routine actually consists of. So they'll actually be, with the help of the next generation of lion dancers, be explaining the snake Cheng.
Thank you. Okay, what we've seen earlier is a lot of the new innovations that have come about in lion dancing in the past maybe 15, 20 years. But Yogi and I are from a different generation. Yogi's over 40 years old, I'm over 35 years old, so when we came up, we didn't do things like that. So what we're going to talk about is one of the oldest lion dance routines, and it's the poisonous snake blocking the path. It's one of the most common routines that you find. And the old routines are actually stories. They're taken from culture, the Chinese culture, from folklore, from history, from their religious beliefs. And the props that we use, any lion dancer who was familiar with those things would come across this setup and know exactly what the story was and how to solve this challenge. The snake chunk is actually one of the 5 poisonous chunks. There's 5 poisonous animals, and they each represent something that is blocking or your business, something that's killing your business, or something going on in your personal life, some kind of obstacle that you want to overcome. You would set up a chunk like this, and the lion dance team would come. As they defeated the snake, it would symbolize defeating that obstacle and helping you to get past that. So. It's important to realize, though, that when you come across a snake, not all snakes are to be killed. For example, if a snake is set up to represent the Chinese zodiac sign, the year of the snake, you obviously don't want to kill that. You'll be killing your luck for the whole year. So you have to know a little bit about the setup to know what snake is what. And so as we look at this one, we see that the body of the snake is a spear. We have the eyes are represented by tangerines, and the fangs of the snake are represented by the butterfly knives. And then we have a representative of the lacy and the lettuce at the end there. And this is a martial setup, and that's going to test Yogi's martial arts skill. So as Yogi demonstrates, I'll add a little bit of commentary and let you know what he's doing and what's going on. And the reason why we're doing this without a tail, without music, is so that you can actually hear what I'm saying, and you can see Yogi's stance work and his movements. So, the lion is going to approach the chunk first, and he's either going to start off by coming down the street and coming upon the snake, or he's going to maybe start within the building and then come outside and see the snake. And when he first comes upon it, it startles him. You know, he doesn't know what it is. What is this thing? And then he realizes that it's a snake, that it's a poisonous thing, something that's dangerous. So after he sees what it is, he's going to move around to where he's safe. He doesn't want to face off with the snake anymore because that would put him right in striking distance. And some believe that would actually kill the lion. So he's going to move around to behind the snake and make 3 approaches. Traditionally, the lion makes 3 tests of any chunk. And so the first test is going to come from the left side. I want you to notice Yogi's footwork here. Everything in traditional lion dance is based on martial arts, on his kung fu skill. And so he's not just standing up, he's moving. Each move is just a transition from one stance to the next stance. So a low horse stance, move into maybe a bow and arrow stance, maybe a cat stance. And his head movement, the head isn't just bobbing back and forth, going up and down. He's actually showing emotion in the lion. The lion should be cautious at this point, just approaching the snake. And every approach is going to be ending with a traditional Chut Sing movement, or 7-star movement, and then a pause. After the pause, he moves to the other side, and he'll approach from the right side. And he'll do the same thing. Notice his stance work. symbolizes the lion stalking the snake. And the final approach is going to come straight down the center. This is the lion's attack of the snake after he's already sized up the situation. So straight down the center, and then on the third one, when he does his Cheng movement, he'll actually jump onto the back of the snake to immobilize it. If you don't immobilize the snake, both the head and tail should jump onto the body of the snake. If you don't immobilize it, the snake can writhe around and bite the lion, and again, that would symbolize that the lion died. In the same way, you don't ever want to turn your back to the snake, because then the snake is in the position of power. So now we come to the eating section, and Yogi is going to first blind the snake so that the snake doesn't know what's going on. And in traditional Chinese medicine, you sometimes take a piece of the poison and turn it into the cure. It's kind of like when you get a flu shot. It actually has the flu virus in it to help boost your immunity. And so what Yogi's doing is he's taking the tangerines and rolling them towards the business. In Cantonese, the tangerine is Dai Gle, symbolizes big prosperity, big fortune. And so as he rolls them into the building, he's taking a piece of the poison and turning it into prosperity, rolling into the building. The next thing he's going to do is take the fangs of the snake. And here some groups will actually take the fangs first because they want to neutralize the biggest threat in the first. Because they would say, it doesn't matter what you do after you've taken the fangs, the snake can't bite you anymore. So there's different ways to solve the Cheng. And at this point, there's a couple of different options of what the groups could do. I mentioned that this was a martial arts Cheng, and it would actually test your skill. At this point, the performer in the lion would sometimes come out and perform a butterfly knife set. Either that or he would pass the knives to his teammate, and his teammate would perform a set. The other option would be to set it aside, as Yogi has done, and they would perform the set afterwards. And so the next thing he's going to do is take the body of the snake. Now you have to remember that at this point, the snake is still alive. He's just blind and can't bite anything. But Yogi is going to have to portray a struggle with a live snake. So he's going to swing it around, he's going to whack it on the ground a couple of times to kill the snake, and then actually swallow it down. And after he swallows the snake, he's got a couple of different options here. It's obviously another weapon, and so another weapon set would be performed, or if they save the butterfly knife set for later, then you can do a two-man set, spear versus butterfly knives. After that, he would move towards the lettuce and the lacy and perform the stalking and the 3 tests of the Cheng. At this point, the lion is he's overcome the main obstacle, but he's going to still test the Cheng and see what it is. He's got to figure out, is this good to eat? What is this? Is this poison? Is this a trap? And so he's going to test it 3 times, and then he's going to take it. Chew it up and spit it out. And this symbolizes the blessing raining down on the business. And so, after he takes the lacy, which is the prize that's common to all lion dance performances, then he'll do a happy lion, clean his beard, clean his mouth. You gotta have good manners after you eat. You gotta wipe your beard and mouth. Happy lion, and then close the routine. At this point, it's good to present the person who set up the Cheng with something, a small token, a small banner, maybe a group's calling card, and then perform the 3 closing bows and finish the performance. These are my kids.
when I was your kid. Then I could play with spears and blades when I was like 3. Alright. Let's give another round of applause for Yogi and Chris.